Sleeping Through History, The Untold Stories of Victorian England. Hello guys, today we will know about the City of London during the long reign of Queen Victoria, specifically the year 1874. It is a world of deep shadows and soft, grey light. This narration is designed to help you relax and slowly drift into a deep sleep. There is a quiet suspense in the air tonight, a small secret hidden in the way the fog curls around the gas lamps. But it is a peaceful mystery, nothing to fear. Close your eyes and breathe in the cool, damp air of the past. The City of London is a vast landscape of brick and stone. The streets are narrow, winding through the heart of the empire like the veins of a great beast. The cobblestones are slick with a thin layer of moisture from the evening mist. Everything is muffled and quiet. The fog acts as a heavy curtain, separating one street from the next. It is a world where sound does not travel far. In the early morning, the sky is a pale charcoal. The sun struggles to pierce through the thick layer of coal smoke that hangs over the rooftops. This smoke is the breath of the city, a constant and heavy presence. It smells of sulfur and burnt wood. It settles on the windowsills in a fine, black dust. People wake up in rooms that are small and cramped. The houses of the working people stand in long, identical rows. They are built of soot-stained brick, dark and porous. Inside, the air is still and cool. A person wakes to the sound of a distant bell, calling the city to work. There is no sudden movement in these rooms. Everything happens with a slow, practiced rhythm. The floorboards creak softly under the weight of a foot. A small coal fire is lit in the iron grate of the hearth. This is the heart of the home, providing both warmth and light. The coal catches slowly, hissing and popping as the heat grows. The embers glow a deep, dull orange. The smoke rises up the narrow chimney, joining the gray sky outside. It is a repetitive task, tending the fire. Breakfast is a quiet and simple meal taken by the light of the hearth. There is a loaf of bread, dense and heavy, sliced with a dull knife. The sound of the knife against the crust is a dry, rasping noise. A small bowl of watery porridge sits on the table, steaming gently. There is a cup of weak tea, flavored with a bit of coarse sugar. Everything is plain and functional. The clothing of the ordinary man is made of thick, heavy wool. He puts on a waistcoat that has been mended many times at the pockets. His trousers are held up by leather braces, worn smooth from years of use. The fabric is rough against the skin, a constant reminder of the physical world. He pulls on heavy leather boots, the soles thick and studded with iron nails. A woman dresses in a long skirt of dark serge and a clean, white apron. Her blouse is high-collared and fastened with small, bone buttons. She pins her hair back with iron pins, moving with a slow and steady hand. Her clothes are practical and modest, designed for a life of labor. Every garment carries the faint scent of coal smoke and yellow soap. The streets begin to fill with the quiet movement of people. The lamplighter moves from post to post, extinguishing the gas flames. He uses a long pole with a small hook at the end. The flame flickers and vanishes, leaving a small puff of white smoke. Each lamp goes out with a soft pop. The morning light is gray and flat, revealing the dampness of the stones. The sound of the city is the sound of horses and wooden wheels. Heavy carts are pulled by shyer horses with wide, feathered hooves. The hooves strike the cobblestones with a rhythmic thud. Clack, clack, clack. The iron rims of the wheels grate against the stone with a low hum. This vibration can be felt in the soles of the feet. It is a constant, grounding noise. The market stalls are being set up in the wider squares. Men move heavy crates of potatoes and cabbages, their breath visible in the cold air. The vegetables are covered in the dark earth of the countryside. The smell is earthy and damp, a reminder of the fields outside the city. There are baskets of onions, their papery skins rustling in the wind. Everything is sold by weight on heavy brass scales. The shops are small and crowded, their windows filled with jars of dried goods. A grocer stands behind a wooden counter, his hands white with flour. He scoops tea from a large tin, the leaves making a soft, shushing sound. Everything is wrapped in brown paper and tied with a bit of twine. The movements of the shopkeeper are slow and methodical. He has done this thousands of times. In the warehouses by the river, men labor in the shadows. They carry heavy sacks of grain and crates of tea on their shoulders. The work is slow and requires great strength. They move in a line, a silent procession of labor. The air is thick with the smell of the river, salt, mud, and old timber. The water of the Thames laps against the stone walls of the docks. The river is a dark, moving ribbon of water. It flows beneath the bridges with a slow and powerful energy. Barges and small boats bob on the surface, their ropes creaking against the wood. Creak, groan, creak. The water is opaque and carries the secrets of the city out to the sea. It is a constant, flowing presence that never hastens. Children are a quiet part of this landscape. They help their parents with small tasks, their faces serious and focused. A young boy might sweep the dust from the shop front with a broom of twigs. A young girl might sit by the window, mending a pair of socks with a silver needle. Their movements are small and repetitive. They learn the value of quiet labor early in life. Some children attend the charity schools, sitting on long wooden benches. The air in the classroom is cool and smells of chalk and wet wool. They write on slates with slate pencils, making a soft, scratching sound. They recite their lessons in a low, monotonous drone. 1, 2, 3. The rhythm of the counting is like a heartbeat. It fills the room with a sense of order. At midday, the city pauses for a brief and quiet meal. A laborer sits on a stone step, eating a piece of cold meat and a crust of bread. He chews slowly, looking out at the fog. There is no conversation, only the sound of the city moving around him. The light does not change much, it remains a soft, diffused gray. The world feels still, as if it is waiting for something. The street laborers work on the repairs of the roads. They use heavy iron hammers to break the stone. Clink, clink, clink. The sound is sharp but rhythmic, echoing off the brick walls. They work with a steady pace, moving one stone at a time. The sweat on their brows is cooled by the damp mist. They are the silent builders of the Victorian world. In the houses of the wealthy, servants move through the back halls. They carry trays of silver and glass, their footsteps silent on the stone floors. They are invisible ghosts in the house, maintaining the order of the rooms. They polish the brass handles until they shine like gold. They dust the heavy velvet curtains that block out the light. Their lives are a series of quiet, repetitive tasks. The seamstress sits in her attic room, working by the light of a small window. Her needle moves in and out of the fabric with a tiny, rhythmic click. Click, pull, click. She is making a dress of fine silk, but her own clothes are plain and worn. She focuses on the stitches, each one a small and perfect line. The room is silent except for the sound of her breathing. As the afternoon fades, the gas lamps are lit once again. The lamplighter returns, his pole reaching up into the gloom. A small spark, a hiss of gas, and then a warm yellow glow. The light creates small circles of safety on the dark streets. The fog thickens, turning the light into a blurry, golden haze. The city begins to retreat into itself. The transport becomes more crowded as the workday ends. Omnibuses pulled by teams of horses move slowly through the narrow lanes. The passengers sit in silence, their faces illuminated by the passing lamps. The horses breathe out clouds of steam, their harnesses jingling softly. Jingle, jingle, jingle. It is a peaceful, metallic sound that marks the end of the day. The pubs begin to fill with a low, communal hum. Men sit on heavy wooden benches, their boots resting in the sawdust on the floor. They hold mugs of dark ale, the liquid reflecting the firelight. They speak in low tones, their voices blending into a gentle murmur. The crackle of the logs in the hearth is the only sharp sound. It is a place of warmth and rest. Back in the small houses, the evening meal is boiling on the stove. It is a simple stew of onions, potatoes, and a small piece of mutton. The smell fills the cramped rooms, a warm and savory embrace. It is the smell of home and the completion of work. The family sits around the table, the firelight casting long, flickering shadows on the walls. The ordinary people of 1874 seek only the comfort of the hearth. Their lives are defined by the cycle of the sun and the coal fire. They find peace in the regularity of their habits. The secret of their existence is the quiet endurance of the everyday. They move through the world with a gentle gravity, aware of the weight of their history. The children are prepared for bed in the dim light of a single candle. The candle flame is a tiny, dancing point of yellow. It smells of beeswax and warm wick. They climb into beds made of iron and wood, the blankets heavy and rough. They feel the weight of the covers pressing down, a secure and solid feeling. Their eyes close as they watch the shadows on the ceiling. Outside, the horses are being unharnessed in the stables. The leather straps creak as they are pulled away from the warm bodies of the animals. The horses stamp their hooves softly on the straw, a dull and muffled sound. They are fed oats from a wooden bucket, the sound of their chewing a rhythmic crunch. The stable is a warm, earthy place, smelling of hay and hide. The city of London begins to settle into its nightly slumber. The great stone buildings grow cold and silent in the mist. The fog wraps around the clock towers and the iron bridges. Time seems to slow down until it almost stops. The secret of the night is that everything eventually finds a place to rest. The noise of the day is forgotten in the embrace of the gray. A person might sit by the window for a moment, looking out at the empty street. They see the reflection of the hearth in the glass, a tiny spark in the gloom. They feel the stillness of the air, the way it carries the distant sound of a ship's horn from the river. A long, low note that vibrates through the brickwork. It is the sound of the deep water, calling to the land. The coal in the grate turns to white ash, falling silently through the iron bars. Each grain of ash is a tiny piece of the day that has passed. The heat lingers in the bricks, a fading memory of the fire. The room grows cool, but the bed is warm and inviting. The pillows are stuffed with feathers or wool, soft and yielding under the head. The sheets are made of heavy linen, smelling of lye and the outdoors. They feel cool against the skin at first, then they catch the warmth of the body. The rhythm of sleep begins to take hold. A slow inhale, a slow exhale. The Victorian world is a world of slow rhythms. There is no reason to hurry in the dark. In the silence of the night, the secret of 1874 is revealed. It is not a secret of industry or empire. It is the secret of the profound peace found in a simple life. It is the quiet dignity of the laborer, the softness of the fog, and the steady flow of the river. It is the knowledge that the world will wake up and do it all again tomorrow, with the same slow grace. The narrow streets are empty now, save for the occasional shadow moving through the mist. The cats slip over the rooftops, their paws silent on the slate tiles. They are the guardians of the night, watching the world sleep. They see the secrets that the fog hides. They feel the stillness that humans only find in their deepest dreams. You are walking through this city in your mind, feeling the cool mist on your face. You hear the distant, muffled sounds of a city at rest. The world is soft, and you are safe. The history of this place is a gentle weight, like a heavy woolen coat. You are part of the story now, a quiet observer of a time that moves with the pace of the tide. The shadows in the room are long and perfectly still. They do not move, they only exist. The darkness is not a frightening thing, it is a velvet curtain that has been drawn across the day. It protects the sleepers and hides their worries. Under the fog of Victorian London, everyone is equal in their rest. Everyone is a part of the great, slow machine of time. The iron bridge over the Thames stands firm, its metal cold to the touch. The water laps against the stone pillars. Slap, ripple, slap. The sound is constant and unchanging. It has been the same for decades, and it will be the same for many more. The river does not care about the passing of the hours. It only cares about the flow. Inside the houses, the clocks tick with a heavy, mechanical sound. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Each second is a deliberate movement of brass gears and lead weights. The clocks are the heartbeats of the homes, marking the passage of the night. They remind the sleepers that time is moving, but it is moving slowly. There is plenty of time for rest. There is plenty of time for peace. The secret of the Victorian age is the way the light fades into the dark. It is the way the people carry themselves with a quiet strength. They do not shout their stories, they whisper them into the soot and the rain. If you listen closely, you can hear them in the creak of the floor and the hiss of the coal. But you do not need to listen now. You only need to feel the quiet. The air in the bedroom is still and cool. You can feel the weight of your own limbs as you sink deeper into the mattress. The history of the world is a long, slow book, and this page is almost finished. The ink is dry, the parchment is cool. The characters in the story are all asleep now, tucked away in their brick houses. The baker is the only one awake in the deep hours, beginning his work in the cellar. He moves with practiced ease, his hands white with flour. He kneads the dough with a rhythmic pressure. Push, fold, push. The dough is soft and cool under his touch. The oven is warming up, a giant stone maul waiting for the bread. The smell of baking will soon drift through the empty streets. But for now, there is only the silence of the fog. The lampposts are lonely sentinels in the gray. They cast a golden circle on the cobbles, but no one is there to walk through it. The city is a museum of the night, perfectly preserved in the cool air. The secret is safe in the shadows. The secret is the beauty of the ordinary. As you drift further toward sleep, the sounds of 1874 fade away. The clatter of the hooves, the scratching of the slates, the bubbling of the stew. They all become a single, low hum. A white noise that lulls the spirit. The history of the ordinary person is a history of peace. It is a history of the quiet moments between the great events of the world. The fog is so thick now that you cannot see the houses across the street. You are wrapped in a cocoon of gray silk. It is private and calm. No one can reach you here. No one can disturb your rest. You are floating in the middle of a silent century. The time of the machine and the steam engine is still quiet here, hidden behind the coal smoke. You can feel the slow pulse of the city beneath you. It is the pulse of the earth and the river. It is a slow, deep vibration that settles the nerves. Everything is as it should be. The day is done, and the night is long. There is no need to think of tomorrow. Tomorrow is a distant shore, across a wide and foggy sea. The secret of Victorian England is that it was a time of quiet endurance. People moved slowly because they knew the value of their labor. They cherished the simple things: a warm fire, a dry bed, a quiet room. They found their strength in the repetition of their daily lives. They found their peace in the silence of the London night. You are part of that peace now. Your breathing is as slow as the Thames at low tide. Your mind is as still as the soot on the windowsill. The shadows have finished their dance and have settled into their places. The world is dark, and the dark is good. It is a place for the mind to rest and for the body to recover. The coal fire is completely gone now, leaving only the scent of the hearth. It is a dry, clean smell. The room is at its coldest, but you are at your warmest under the wool. The contrast is a comfort. It makes you feel the safety of your bed more deeply. You are a traveler in time, and you have found a place of absolute quiet. The secret is silence. The secret is rest. The secret is the peace of a world that moves slowly. Sleep now, in the quiet of the old city. Sleep now, under the blanket of the past. The story is over, and the night remains. Just the night, and the fog, and the slow, steady breath of time. The city is a dream, the fog is a dream, you are the dreamer. The streets are narrow and winding, but they lead only to sleep. The cobbles are damp, but the bed is dry. The gas lamps are flickering out, one by one, leaving the world to the stars. You are sinking deeper into the darkness, away from the light of the 1870s. You are safe, you are still, you are at rest. The horse in the stable has closed its eyes. The baker has put the first loaf in the oven. The river flows on, silent and dark. The clock in the hall ticks one last time. Tick. Tock, silence. The Victorian world is a memory of smoke and stone. It is a place where you can hide from the noise of the modern world. It is a place of heavy blankets and cool air. It is a place where the secret is simply the peace of the night. The fog curls around the window, but it cannot come in. The darkness is deep, but it is not empty. It is filled with the rest of a million souls who lived and worked and slept in these same streets. You are one of them now, finding your place in the long history of sleep. Breathe in the silence, breathe out the day. The shadows are your friends, the cold is your comfort, the night is your home. Every brick in the wall has a story, but tonight they are not telling them. They are holding them inside, keeping them safe for the morning. Tonight, there is only the weight of the stone and the softness of the bed. Tonight, there is only the peace of the past. The city of London is a quiet island in the sea of time. The fog is the ocean that surrounds it. You are on that island, in a small room, in a warm bed. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The secret is that you are not alone in your rest. The whole world of 1874 is resting with you. The queen in her palace, the clerk in his room, the laborer in his cottage. They are all dreaming the same dream of peace. The light is gone, the sound is gone, the world is gone. There is only the sleep, the deep, dark, Victorian sleep. The mist is closing in, turning everything to a soft, gray blur. You cannot see the door, you cannot see the walls. You can only feel the warmth of the blankets and the rhythm of your breath. You are falling, slowly, through the layers of history, through the smoke, through the fog, into the heart of the night. The secret is yours now, the secret of the silence. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the year 1874, the world was quiet, and so are you. The River Thames is a dark mirror, reflecting nothing but the stars. The city is a shadow, resting on the earth. You are a part of that shadow, still and calm. The history of the world is a long, slow breath, and you are at the end of it. The clock has stopped, the fire is cold, the night is complete. Just sleep. The shadows are long and heavy, like the velvet of a theater curtain. They have closed on the day, and they will not open until the sun is high. You have all the time in the world to rest. You have all the history of London to protect you. The fog is a blanket, the stone is a shield, the night is a sanctuary. You are drifting now, away from the words, away from the thoughts. You are moving into the place where there is no time, only the feeling of the heavy blankets and the cool air on your face. The ordinary people of the past are your guardians. They have lived their lives, and now they are showing you how to rest. They are whisperers in the dark, telling you that all is well. All is well in the year 1874. All is well in the city of London. All is well in your room, in your bed, in your heart. The secret is the silence, and the silence is everywhere. Sleep. The horses are asleep, the children are asleep, the river is asleep. The story is done. The night continues. The silence remains. The scriptorium's shadow, a night in a medieval monastery, sleep story. Hello guys, today we will know about the high, stone walls of a Benedictine monastery in the year 1262. It is a place of absolute stillness, tucked away in a valley where the only clock is the tolling of a heavy bronze bell. This narration is designed to help you relax and fall into a deep, restorative sleep. There is a small, quiet suspense in the way the candlelight flickers against the vellum pages. But it is a gentle mystery, like the sound of a feather pen moving across parchment. Close your eyes and feel the cool, holy silence of the stone. The monastery is a fortress of peace built from gray limestone and ancient oak. The walls are several feet thick, keeping the heat of the summer and the bite of the winter at bay. Inside, the air smells of beeswax, old incense, and the dry, sweet scent of dried herbs hanging from the rafters. In the year 1262, time does not rush, it flows like honey from a jar. The secret of this place is the rhythm of the hours, a steady pulse that has not changed for centuries. The scriptorium is a long, vaulted room where the monks spend their days in silent labor. The windows are narrow and arched, letting in thin slivers of silver moonlight that dance upon the floor. The floor is made of smooth, cold flagstones, worn down in the center by the passage of sandaled feet over hundreds of years. As you imagine walking here, your footsteps make no sound at all. The room is a vessel for the quiet thoughts of the past. A single oil lamp hangs from a chain in the center of the ceiling, its flame a steady, golden bead. It casts long, soft shadows that stretch toward the high wooden desks where the monks work. On each desk lies a sheet of vellum, made from the finest calfskin, smooth and pale. The ink is kept in small horn wells, dark and shimmering like the surface of a forest pool. There is no noise here, only the occasional rustle of a heavy robe as a monk shifts his weight. The morning meal in the refectory is taken in total silence while a brother reads from a holy book. There is a bowl of thick pottage made from leeks, beans, and oats. The steam rises in a straight line, undisturbed by the still air. There is a piece of dark, rye bread, dense and satisfying, and a small measure of cider or ale. The flavors are simple and honest, tied to the earth of the monastery's own gardens. Each swallow is deliberate, a quiet act of gratitude. The clothing of the brothers is made of heavy, undyed wool, rough to the touch but warm and enduring. The habit is a deep chocolate brown or a soft charcoal gray, fastened at the waist with a simple hempen rope. The hood is deep, shading the eyes and focusing the mind inward. Beneath the robes, they wear simple tunics of linen that have been washed in the stream until they are soft and gray. The fabric feels heavy and grounding, a physical anchor to the spiritual life. Outside the stone walls, the monastery gardens are a sanctuary of green and gold. Brother herbalists move slowly between the raised beds, their fingers brushing against the leaves of lavender, sage, and mint. They gather the herbs in wicker baskets, the stems snapping with a soft, clean sound. The scent follows them like a cloud, a mixture of sharp resin and sweet flowers. The secret of the garden is the way it grows without hurry, following the slow turn of the seasons. The children of the monastery are the young oblates, boys who have been given to the service of the order. They move through the cloisters with soft steps, carrying buckets of water or bundles of firewood. Their faces are calm, their voices kept to a whisper. One boy might be tasked with polishing the brass candlesticks, the cloth making a rhythmic, shushing sound. Rub, shine, rub. The light of the sun catches the metal, creating a tiny, temporary star in the gloom. In the fields beyond the walls, the lay brothers work the soil with wooden plows. The oxen move with a heavy, swaying gait, their breath huffing in the cool morning air. The earth turns over in long, dark ribbons, smelling of deep rain and old roots. There is a slow, vibrating hum to the labor, a connection between the man, the beast, and the land. The work is hard, but it is steady, and it ends when the sun touches the hills. The transport of the monastery is the simple wooden cart or the sturdy mule. The mules have long, soft ears and a patient temperament. They carry sacks of grain to the mill, the bells on their harnesses making a tiny, musical tinkling. Tinkle, clink, tinkle. The sound is lonely and beautiful in the wide valley. The wheels of the cart are solid wood, rolling over the dirt paths with a low, thumping rhythm. It is the pace of a world that has no need for speed. At midday, the great bell tolls for the office of sext. The sound is deep and resonant, vibrating through the stone walls and into the very bones of the people. Dong, dong, dong. It is a call to stop, to breathe, and to remember the stillness. For a few moments, all work ceases. The plow stays in the furrow, the pen stays in the inkwell. The world holds its breath, suspended in the amber light of the afternoon. In the afternoon, a monk might sit in the library, a room filled with the scent of old parchment and leather bindings. The books are chained to the shelves, their covers made of thick wood and iron clasps. He opens a volume slowly, the vellum pages making a dry, whispering sound. Shoo, itch. The letters are written in a tight, beautiful script, decorated with gold leaf that catches the light. The knowledge of the world is stored here, quiet and patient, waiting for the turn of a page. The village at the foot of the monastery hill is a cluster of small cottages with wattle and daub walls. The people here live by the rhythm of the abbey bell. They gather at the market cross to trade wool for iron, their voices low and respectful. There is a smell of wood smoke and sheep's wool in the air. A blacksmith strikes a piece of glowing metal, the sound muffled by the distance. Clink, clink, it is a heartbeat for the valley. As evening approaches, the shadows of the monastery towers stretch long and thin across the grass. The sky turns a deep, translucent blue, the color of a saint's robe. The brothers gather for vespers, their voices rising in a plain chant that has no beginning and no end. The sound is a single, unfolding ribbon of melody, echoing through the vaulted ceiling. It is a hypnotic, droning sound that lulls the soul into a state of perfect calm. The meal in the evening is lighter. Perhaps a piece of honeycomb and a bowl of goat's milk. The milk is warm and creamy, the honey tasting of the summer wildflowers. The refectory is dark now, lit only by a few beeswax candles that smell of the hive. The shadows dance on the stone walls, moving with the flickering flames. The brothers finish their meal and move toward the dormitory, their minds already drifting toward the night. The dormitory is a long, narrow room with a row of simple wooden pallets. Each bed has a thin mattress of straw and a heavy woolen blanket. There are no pillows, only a small bolster of linen. You lie down on one of these beds in your mind, feeling the firmness of the straw and the weight of the wool. The room is cool, but the blanket is thick. The air is perfectly still, the silence so deep it feels like a physical presence. Outside, the monastery is a silent sentinel in the dark. The moon rises over the mountains, bathing the cloisters in a pale, ghostly light. The arches cast sharp, black shadows on the flagstones. The fountain in the center of the courtyard drips with a slow, steady rhythm. Drip, ripple, drip. It is the only sound in the entire valley. It is the sound of time passing without a care. A brother might stand by the high window for a moment, looking out at the forest. He sees the dark shapes of the pines against the starry sky. He hears the distant hoot of an owl and the soft rustle of a deer in the underbrush. The world is vast and mysterious, but here, within the stone, everything is known and safe. He pulls his hood over his head and turns back to the room, his heart at peace. The secret of the 13th century is the beauty of the slow task. Whether it is copying a page of a book or tilling a field, every movement is an end in itself. There is no future to rush toward, only the present moment, held in the hands like a precious stone. The people of 1262 do not worry about the world beyond the hills. Their world is the valley, the bell, and the silence. The candle in the dormitory is extinguished with a soft puff of air. The small trail of smoke rises toward the rafters, vanishing in the dark. The room is now lit only by the stars through the high windows. You can feel the coolness of the stone walls radiating into the air, balanced by the warmth of your own body under the blanket. Your breathing slows down, matching the rhythm of the fountain in the courtyard. You are sinking into the history of the stone. You are becoming a part of the monastery's long memory. The years have smoothed the edges of the flagstones, and they are smoothing the edges of your mind. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. You are held in the embrace of a century that valued the quiet above all else. The scriptorium is empty, the library is locked, the garden is sleeping. The secret is the vellum, the secret is the ink, the secret is the silence. Sleep now, as the monks have slept for 1,000 years. Sleep with the weight of the wool and the scent of the beeswax. The year 1262 is a long, golden dream, and you are drifting through the heart of it. The valley is quiet, the bell is still, and the night is yours. The path to the village is gone, the forest is a whisper, there is only the rest. The stone is your shield. The darkness is your friend, the silence is your home. Breathe in the cool air of the cloisters, breathe out the light of the day. The world is tucked away behind the thick walls, you are safe, you are still, you are at rest. Just sleep.